Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand? I'd like to welcome the Honorable Jim Justice, Governor of the great state of West Virginia. Be seated. Well,
I will sit here.
yes, sir. Well, we want to thank everyone for coming out today. I'd like to recognize some folks in the audience. We have several people here from Mercer County. Greg Puckett from the Mercer County Commission, Bill Archer from the Mercer County Commission, Jamie Knoll, the Executive Director of the Mercer County CVB, Josh Klein from the Mercer County Chamber of Commerce, and John O'Neill from the Mercer County Development Authority. We also have with us today Jack David Woodrum from Summers County Commission. And we also have Terradon Engineers and Chapman Technical, our engineers and architects, for a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about today. And I also want us to welcome and thank our staff. We have many staff members here today at Pipestem. Thank you for helping us put all this together, and thank you for what you do every day. Why are we here today? This is the second announcement in as many months of some things that are very exciting that are happening in West Virginia State Parks. This gentleman sitting beside me asked me 2 years ago, he said, listen, we need to go to work, you need to work with Chelsea, we need to develop tourism, we need to get the word out of what great things are happening here in West Virginia. Well, with his support, we announced the building of a new lodge up in Kakapen, a $26 million project, which is desperately needed there. We also were happy to get permission to sell $60 million worth of bonds the last legislative session, and that's one of the things that we're here to talk about today. We are getting ready to embark on over 100 projects throughout the 35 state parks in West Virginia. We're going to be spending over $100 million in the state park system over the next 2 to 3 years. It's truly an exciting time. Brett McMillian, who's been with the state park system for almost 25 years, said he's never seen this much excitement within the park system. So we want to talk a little bit today about what we're going to be doing here. Pipestem is over 40 years old, and there's really not been a lot of money put back into the park. It's one of the most beautiful places in West Virginia, and you can tell if you just look out these windows, you can see the peaks and the valleys out there. But we are in the process of making some infrastructure improvements, almost $11 million worth of improvements. The old pool building, we're going to be tearing down and building a brand new spray park. We have wastewater treatment facilities that we're going to be redoing. We have 37 full-service campsites now. We're going to be adding 50 more full-service campsites. We're going to remodel all of the cabins, renovate all the cabins. We have a $2.1 million renovation project for In the Lodge. We're going to be redoing all the lodge rooms. And we're also going to be adding some exciting recreational opportunities. And that's one of the things we brought you here today. This lady that I'm going to introduce here in a moment is always telling me how important it is to have recreational opportunities. And when I got here, apparently for several years, they were trying to build a zip line across the Bluestone Gorge, and they were unsuccessful. Well, this guy is always telling me I need to think outside the box and think big. So we went to work, and it took almost 2 years. But I think you'll find today we're building a zip line across that gorge, 9 zips, a 2.5-hour trail to go from the top of the mountain down to the bottom. And I don't think there's going to be anything like it in the region. And we're really excited. It's just one of those things that we're trying to do to get more people to come and visit our parks in West Virginia. So with that, what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask Commissioner Ruby to come up and talk to you a little bit about what we're doing with with our recreational opportunities and how important that is to tourism. Chelsea?
Well, you've said everything. Thank you. Thank you all. I want to thank all of you for being here. I know that anytime we do a tourism event, we're going to fill the room. I walked in, there were all these chairs, and they said, we're never going to fill these chairs. I said, we'll fill the chairs. So thank you all for being here. I also want to thank the governor. I think that sometimes it goes unnoticed because he does so many events, how many of them are related to tourism. So he will be doing another tourism event later this weekend, but we can count on the governor to show up to anything tourism related. He's been to every tourism commission meeting we've had since he took office, and he really and truly is a staunch supporter of tourism. He is leading the change to unbelievable improvements when it comes to tourism. So there's a lot of fanfare and a lot of discussion about the marketing angle of tourism. And that part of what we do is going very, very well. Under his direction, last year we launched the Almost Heaven campaign. It's getting unbelievable results. Every indicator we have shows that tourism is now growing in West Virginia. So we're very excited about that. But I'm equally excited to be here today to talk about the other part of tourism, and that's the development side. It's making sure that the industry is growing along with the people who are coming here. So I just want to say thank you to everyone involved in this. Thank you, Governor, for your leadership in making sure that we are not only promoting the state, but also making sure that we continue to grow.
Thank you, Chelsea, and I also want to reiterate that it is definitely an exciting time. One thing, and I haven't shared this with my boss yet, but last year, our last fiscal year, we increased our revenues year over year $1.7 million, and we've gone clear back into the late 1980s. It's never happened. There's never been anything near that. So Chelsea can tell you our reservations systems is growing like it's never done before. But with that, I want to introduce the guy who's responsible for all this, the one that's been leading the charge and has given Chelsea and I our direction, the governor of the great state of West Virginia, Jim Justice. Governor.
Well, I had my notes, but I don't really need the notes to talk to you. You know, it's easy if you'll just think about just how beautiful that is out there. And if you just think about the opportunities that is right out there. And then you start thinking, you're digging into the numbers, and you start thinking that for every dollar we spend on tourism in some way or another, it brings back 8 to 14 times the number of dollars. Well, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, you've got to promote your state. I've said it over and over and over. Any frog that's not proud of his own pond isn't much of a frog. And so we've got to be proud of our own pond. Now, things are better in West Virginia. Things are lots better. And I don't want to belabor where we've been, but the reality is just real simple. And I promise you to the Lord above, I will never do anything other than just tell you the truth. I make lots of mistakes, and you learn from your mistakes. And I've got lots and lots of experience, but I am a business guy. And I will promise you, beyond a shadow of a doubt in the world, on day one, when we started, on day one, this state was bankrupt, period. There couldn't have been any possibility of doing something like we've done here. You know, there's no way. But today we're doing it. And it took a lot of bold steps, and it took literally a miracle from the good Lord to bless us in the fact that we have an opportunity now to do something. This state is truly remarkable in every way. Four of the most beautiful seasons on the planet. I said it way, way back, but it's absolutely so good it should be said over and over and over. We live in a place that has four of the most beautiful seasons on the planet. We live within a rock's throw at 2/3 of the population of the country. We abound in natural resources like crazy, whether it be coal, oil, gas, timber, water. I mean, for crying out loud, our natural resources in this state are unbelievable. They're unbelievable. And then it falls back. That's 3 parts of a 4-legged stool. The seasons, the proximity of where we are, and our natural resources. And what's the last one? It's you. It's you. People don't have a clue in the world just how great you really are. You're the very best. The very, very best. You're faith-based. You're grounded. You're conservative in your thinking. You absolutely know what hard work really means. You're craftsmen. You're the very people that when people migrated out of this state and had to go to Charlotte and all over the place to get a job, you're the people that people used to walk the lines and said, is anybody here from West Virginia that was applying for a job? And they'd pull you out and put you at the front of the line because they knew how good you really are. Now think about it. That's the fourth leg to this stool. And I say it over and over, but this stool's a heck of a stool to hold me. I mean, a heck of a stool. So the long and short of the whole thing is you had to have somebody, and this is where I come into play, that was willing to step out. Somebody that had a lot of experience. Somebody that had a vision of where we ought to go. And then somebody that was willing to turn these people and you loose, to give you the ability to really go do it. Steve McDaniel and Chelsea Ruby are beyond superstars. They are unbelievable. That's all there is to it. But today, right here at Pipestem, think about this. I can remember like it was yesterday. There was a fellow, his name was Harry Ellis. Does anybody know that name, Harry Ellis? Anybody? He's one of the guys that started the concept of building the golf course here. He was on the way to maybe being a golf pro or whatever that was here. Harry Ellis. I knew him really well. Played golf with him a million times when I was just a kid. And now I'm sitting here. I've grown another body. I was skinny at one time. My hair's white. But I remember just in its beginning, in its infancy, what this place was like here. And today, you're on your way to make it a premier, and it's been that, but even more of a premier destination to bring tourists here and to bring tourism dollars and to create employment and all the other things under the sun. Now, I can't fathom this zip line because I would love more than anything to zoom right down at myself, but it's almost like my love to be able to parachute out of a plane. You see, I'm always worried that a parachute's not going to hold me, and they're going to have a cargo chute that has like 3 canopies that come out to let me down. And there's no way on God's earth I'm getting on this zip line. But the other flip side of it is this, you know, think about everything from the spray park to the remodeling of the cabins to the trout that are going to be in the stream down there, and how many marketing opportunities there are right here. It's an exciting time. I can never thank them enough. You know, I'm really, really involved in the tourism side, and the reason I'm really involved is because my specialization on my MBA was marketing advertising. You know, and so while I'm a business guy, I am dead into the marketing of ourselves and the marketing of tourism within our state, because the last of my last today that I'll say is just this, is absolutely, if there were ever a place on the planet that ought to explode from a tourism standpoint, it's us. It's right here. I mean, I always just talk to you like I'm in your family room. I'm not going to stand at a podium and read from a teleprompter. I'm just going to tell you the truth. But how could it be any better to have that out there and have it located within a rock's throw at 2/3 of the population? For crying out loud. We just got to do it. We just got to do it. And that's what we're doing. So at the end of the day, nothing in the world makes me any happier than this. These are dollars that just come and come and come and multiply and multiply. And then as they come, there's even more good that happens. People find out that the dream and the treasure is here. the stigma of who we've maybe been in the past, this dark and dingy and backward and ignorant and all that kind of stuff, goes away. And all of a sudden, we become the treasure. Couldn't be better in my book. No way. Couldn't make me happier. Now, I have done this today. At 7:15 this morning, I probably made a bunch of people mad on Fox and Friends, but and I hope a bunch of you did not see that. No, it was good, I think. You know, but nevertheless, be happy. Be happy. Today's a good day. The work they're doing is great work. And it's working. That's the thing. We can measure it. It's working. All kinds of stuff is happening right today in West Virginia. My last. It's just as simple as this. Create an instant job. How do you do that? Let all the roads loose. That's your instant jobs. Absolutely change your image. Dedicate that you're really making an investment in education and you believe in education and you're not that kind of backward state that's got to kill a deer every day at school to feed the kids. Absolutely change your image. Absolutely make an absolute commitment to education. Do the roads. The next thing is make a commitment to the veterans, the very people that we owe everything on the planet to. Last part is fix this drug problem. Fix this thing that's just cannibalized us forever. Turn us loose with tourism and get us on our way. Be proud of our natural resources, but know that we got to have a lot of other things than just our natural resources. That's the whole strategy. That's the whole everything. And you know what? It's working. It's really working. Thank y'all for having me. I love you in every way.
Thank you, Governor. That concludes our comments this morning. We're going to be hanging around to answer any questions you may have. We've also got some really wonderful refreshments in the back. So please mingle around, and if there's anything that you would like to ask us, we're going to be around here for just a little while. So thank you all for coming. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you, guys. And I'm going to mingle out of here. So if you mingle, y'all go back there and mingle with them. Thank y'all.